are live on OTR Live with KJ, Karen Jordan, who is officially trying to change her name to KJ Runs because it's just not cool to be Karen anymore these days.
It really was.
The two Karens I know are wonderful. So it's you and then Karen Clark. So you are two wonderful Karens. So
that is a fact. I do not know a bad Karen. I don't know a bad Karen at all. So, but it's fun. It's you have to have some fun.
Someday Karen will come back around being, I don't know if it was ever a cool name, but it's going to be like all the things from like the 80s and 90s that we thought were awful for a long time and they're back in style.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Karen will be a cool name again.
It all comes back around.
Won't it? In the meantime,
if all like the mom jeans and stuff are coming back, why can't a name?
Exactly. We'll move on to the next big thing, I guess.
The beauty of live streaming is messing with your volume so you can hear yourself right. But hey, KJ, before we talk about Chicago, let's catch up. How are you? How is life out west in Keene?
Pretty great. Yeah, pretty great. But I'll be honest, I'm already like shocked by the weather. I know this is ridiculous, but I feel like I spent a good portion of the winter inside last year recovering and stuff. So I forgot it was cold. So not loving it.
We can talk about that because last winter you had a hysterectomy back in December. And when we talked to you last, you were like on the comeback tour on your recovery. You had some races planned. I forget if you just did a half marathon or if your half marathon was coming up, but we knew this race was coming up. So how was your comeback tour throughout the summer?
Honestly, I still can't get over it. I don't know how I fared to do so well. This was one of the best like seasons of running I've had in a really long time. And I think maybe part of that was, the motivation of being sidelined. Maybe it was just patience, but I really think a lot of it had to do with being the most consistent I've been with strength training. Like, can't stress that enough. Like, my gym is amazing. And, but I was really, really like feeling good for a long time. I had my aches and pains. I have some things that are always going to be hiccups for me, but this was easily like the happiest round of marathon training I've ever had. So
that's so exciting because that is a hard thing to get over a lot. Like I've had some terrible cycles and the ones that you just dread going out for the long run. And it's just, it sucks all the fun out of it. So I'm glad you had a great cycle and enjoyed yourself. It sounds like you did at least.
I did. And honestly, I think the worst running, and we get it done and I'm complaining, but honestly, it could be so much worse, is winter running for me. I don't love being cold. So summertime, I generally thrive a little bit more, but I don't know. This summer was just definitely different. I had my best running buddies like helping me with my miles. I had a lot of bike support. I don't know.
Bike bitch.
Everything that
shout out to the bike bitches.
Jess was my bike bitch. She was amazing. But everything just clicked with this one. So
that's great.
I'll tell you two reasons why. One, you're just an absolute badass. And two, you're resilient. Like the tattoo right there on your bicep, resilient.
Yep. Yeah, I'll give you that. I agree.
Well, that's awesome. We're glad to know that you had one of the best summers ever running wise, especially just months after major surgery. So that's super cool. One other thing I noticed today, off of running, but where you work at 21 something, there's a new menu now.
There is a new menu, 21 Bar and Grill. We do 2 menus a year. So we just put out our, fall and winter menu.
So
it's pretty great.
Do you totally like reamp up the food and the meals, or are you just like printing a new menu and making it look fancy and pretty?
Nope. It's just a lot of like the like really tried and true things that if we took off the menu, we'd have like a riot on our hands kind of thing. Either from the guests or the employees.
Yeah.
But then we always try to put some like, a good amount of new stuff on the menu that's seasonal. Like this round, they did a lot, food and drinks. They did a lot with figs and stuff that's like a little bit, seasonal.
Fancy.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. It keeps it interesting. So
fancy,
especially if you do eat at a restaurant a lot. When you work at a restaurant, you eat there more. It's nice to have. It's nice to have new options.
Lots of options. So not lettuce and ice cubes for you. You're actually eating the good stuff.
My 2 favorites. That's all I ever eat.
Hey, actually, now that I think about it, Erica went out west to visit, well, not to visit you, but she ran in a marathon that you were running in too
And
just
I
a few
got
weeks
to
ago.
You
So I
surprised me at the
went to
end.
finish, and I booked it over there, and I was like, it was so exciting. And you were so
Yes.
happy, so well.
Oh, I was shocked I did as well as I did because I really haven't been doing much speed work, and I was having some like intestinal issues that day, and I just wanted to be done. And I guess you were like cheering on the side, and I just ran right by you. I didn't hear you calling my name or anything, and then she just like popped out around the corner when I finished, and I was like, oh my God, too. I was so excited. So
At some point in that day, I kind of started to lose my voice a bit, so that maybe my cheering wasn't quite loud enough.
I had
It was really
tunnel
exciting.
vision. I was going for that finish. I just wanted to be done. So it's not you, it's me.
Completely understand that.
Mhm.
So KJ, that was the first time you met Erica in person.
Yes.
You hear her
Yeah.
every week on the pod. What's she like in person?
To me, she seemed exactly the same, and that's coming after running a marathon. And she still had the high energy, the smile, the it was great.
It's true.
It's hard to kill this. Like it's plastered on my face all the time. So and I was super excited to finally meet you.
My face does usually.
Well, we'll get into at the end. We'll get into what's next for you, and maybe we can meet you somewhere. I know there might be a Thanksgiving race or something too. You are far away out west, though. Out west, that's far.
It's not that far. I made
We'll
the drive.
We'll figure it out.
It's
But
worth it. It's beautiful.
but you just ran. I actually might be there sometime this winter for hockey games. So if I am, I'll come to the 21 Bar and Grill.
Oh, you have
But
to.
let's get into the reason we brought you back. When we talked to you last, you told us you had the Chicago Marathon on deck, and we're like, we got to get you back. This is Erica's favorite race, and we got to hear how it went. So give us all the details. Tell me from when you left the door of your house until when you got back in. Tell me about the whole experience. I don't want to hear just about the race, but the entire Chicago Marathon experience.
Well, I will tell you that in every typical fashion for every marathoner, the 2-week or so taper that I had immediately was the mind games. Everything was hurting more. Everything was like awful. I was definitely just going to go and have fun, try. And if after 10 miles, it was all going to, then on live, then I was going to party, right? I was going to slow it down and just finish and have a good time. I told myself no matter what, I wasn't going to hang my head and, be upset. I was going to finish that race no matter what I had to do, but also do it smiling, do it having fun, taking all the photos, petting all the dogs, doing all the good stuff. But yeah, so I just was fully prepared to go and just take whatever the day gave me. But my brain was telling me that it wasn't going to be my epic day because I just was feeling crappy from a taper. So yeah, I got up early Friday morning. I drove myself. I went to Manchester Airport because I'm traveling alone, and that's the easiest in and out.
It's a beautiful airport, the best. MHT all the way.
It's so tiny. It's so easy.
It's the best. You just walk right through security, right?
Yeah. Oh, there's nobody there.
Is it a direct flight to Chicago?
You'd think it would be.
They used to have one.
I got to visit the wonderful Baltimore airport.
Oh, yeah. Wonderful.
Oh.
Traveling was so easy, though. Everything went so well. Both flights on the way there and both flights on the way home, I got front row, all that extra leg room.
Nice.
I don't know how that
nice.
But
yeah. You're a rock star.
I should have gotten a lottery ticket when I got home, but I didn't think about it.
Was it Southwest?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So Southwest, where you pick your own seat.
That's so
you
weird.
You must
I've
have
always
really
done direct from there. They go to Midway, or they used to. So I'm kind of bummed that they don't anymore. Yeah.
I hope they'll bring it back.
Midway they do, but they didn't for O'Hare.
Oh,
I'm gonna clip this. MHT, bring back the Chicago flight.
Bring it back.
Direct to Chicago.
Again, as far as layovers go, this couldn't have been any easier. I was there for an hour. It didn't hold up the day by any means. So
that's
yeah. So I got in.
I waited early enough to explore a little bit and do some touristy things, or was it Expo Day? Did you do the Expo that day?
Yeah, so I did not want to put it
Excellent.
off because the fear of not getting there and getting your bib was like terrifying, right? So once my sister got into the airport, a couple other guys that were traveling from Keene met us there, and we booked it to the expo. We got in pretty close to the closing time. Got our bibs, and we were going back to the hotel and getting a late dinner.
So this was the night before the race.
This was actually the night before, 2 nights before. I went Friday night. Yeah.
Yep. So you
Did
kind
you
of
get
had
to stock up on gear and stuff? Like, I want to know about what you did at the expo. Did you get time to explore a little bit?
A little. We didn't go around to every booth or anything. Went in, got the bib, went straight to the back and got like the packet pickup, our shirts and all that stuff. And then we stopped at the Nike one, because I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Sorry. We stopped there and did a little shopping. Okay. And took some photos and all the quintessential like background bib holding. Actually, we didn't do a lot of looking around at the expo, and I kind of wish we had, but it was just like kind of pressed for time, and that my sister and I have both been traveling all day and really haven't eaten. And I'm not just going to generalize, but women, when they're hungry, it's not a great thing. So
I'm guilty of that.
It's not just women.
So guilty.
It's not just women. I get hangry too.
You get hangry, yep.
But put us together, it was.
Now this is your superstar. This is your rock star sister, the one who came and spent like 5 weeks with you after your surgery. She like dropped everything and came, and you were like, "This isn't going to work out." But after she left, you were like, "Oh my God,
I still wish she was here. I would still let her take care of me. She spoils me rotten." She actually did the same though. I was a friend of mine was gonna be coming to Chicago with me, and not last minute by any means. Life stuff has come up, and she wasn't gonna make it. And I called my sister, and I was like, "I'm a little sad." Let her know what was going on, and she was like, "Well, I was thinking about surprising you. Do you want me to go?" And I'm like,
"How amazing!"
You guys, nobody has a sister like mine.
Well, speaking of surprises, hold on. Someone's in the room. I got to let Shalane in here. Hold on.
I was like,
I was like, wait a minute.
I was like, this is like, there's two directions our friendship's going to go, Eric. It's either
it just went down.
I can bring it back up. I've done it before. I pulled off some pretty epic surprises.
I actually just started sweating a little.
I apologize on his behalf. That was a cruel joke.
Let me go put
unless it actually happened. That's awesome.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I tagged her in the reel I made to where you talked about Shalane back a while back. I don't think we got any reaction from her, but one day we'll have her on the pod, and I'll let you watch in the back room.
She has that much going on. She's a busy woman.
We might have an inside connection, though. I'll work on it.
All right. Fair.
Yes.
All right.
So you got your bib and stuff. This is 2 nights before the race. What did you do all day, the eve of the race?
So Saturday, we actually woke up. My sister and I ran the Chicago 5K together. And my sister's a runner. She is, she has had to take some time off for plantar fasciitis in both feet. Then she hurt her knee. So she's been working on getting back into it. And when she found out there was a 5K the day before the marathon, she's like, "Oh, I'll sign up for that." And I was like, I know that I always do a shakeout the day before a marathon. So like, I would love to run it. And then just decided, I wasn't going to go for it. It was obviously going to be, easier. Right. And I jumped in with my sister, and we had a blast. She ran the whole thing. She thought she would have to do some run walk. She ran the whole thing. She was much faster than she thought she would be. Like, we had a really great time. So it was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Now there's a lot of people there, a lot of celebrities, a lot of runners. And I know you are a big Allie Feller fan, and Allie was there. Did you get to meet Allie, or was there anyone special you met?
Nope. we met a lot of nice people in the corral around us. We watched a lot of really cool TikToks being made.
Influencers in the wild.
I didn't see Allie. I tried to look for her as I was finishing, but it was just chaos. And
because she was doing the announcing. That's right.
So yeah. But
I thought she ran the 5K at least.
ran the 5K.
But
She
she
did
was out
run
there
the
at least for that.
5K.
Based on her,
She ran the 5K. I listened to her. And
she said that basically when she was done, she
I was saying
a whole lot of she's got a lot going on. Yeah. But it was,
yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I listened to her entire solo episode the other day with the marathon recap, and she kind of gave a pretty big life recap on that one too. So she got a lot going on. That's right. So, but it's pretty badass in between treatments and everything. She went out to Chicago and she did it, and she's a rock
could
star.
not agree more. So, but yeah, pretty much all Saturday we stayed off our feet on the hotel, watched movies, kind of just relaxed and stuff, and then we went out for dinner. And I kept apologizing, saying, "I'm sorry, this isn't what you wanted. If this is like, you can go out, you can do whatever you want." My sister's like, "I'm fine." She's like, "I don't mind. This is great." So she was a trooper.
What did you guys wind up doing for your pre-race meal?
She went out and got pizza and beer because she was done her race. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
I had the pasta. I went for pasta.
Always a classic
carb
choice.
load. Keep carb loading. I was so sick of carbs. And I'm never sick of carbs.
So you go to bed. Are you nervous? Are you excited? Do you forget to set your alarm? What time was the alarm? What was going on? Like going to bed and right before you fell asleep?
Did you get a good night's sleep?
I will say we stayed in our hotel, and we had a great hotel. And we were so close to downtown. We were about a mile from the start finish area. But neither one of us slept well. The only night that I slept pretty good was actually the night before the race, which blew my mind. I didn't dream about the race, didn't do all the things that you do before a really big, anything. But we just, I don't know, we were hot one night, we were cold the next. We the pillows weren't working. So, yeah, I went to bed, and I honestly, I said it to my sister. I was like, I feel oddly calm. And I don't know if that was because I'd already kind of resigned to taking the day, whatever I had, taking a little pressure off there. But definitely set multiple alarms. But I don't sleep through an alarm. I'm up. It goes off. I'm up. We woke up pretty damn early because my sister did my hair. She's always so good to me. Did my hair. I already had everything laid out. And then we just met one of the girls that I'm friends with in Keene. She was running, and she was in the same hotel, Sarah. So we met her downstairs, and Sarah and I waddled over to security, which took good probably 45 minutes to an hour just to get through security into the park. So that was cold and kind of miserable, but that made you nervous. Just the standing around there was a lot. But once we were inside.
So what was the weather on race day?
I've never been to Chicago before, but I will say that Saturday for the 5K, it was so windy and cold. And I was just thinking, if this is the weather we have tomorrow, I'm kind of screwed because I don't love running in the wind. I don't think anybody really does. But then if you had listened to, I know Allie had done a pre-Chicago, everything you need to know about Chicago Marathon. And I think it was the race director was saying, don't stress if there's big gusts of wind. There's so many turns on this course. It's going to be at your back too. So you can't change it. You just have to wait for it to be in your favor kind of thing. So,
I mean, it is the windy city.
There were some times where I was just like, this is too much. I don't know how people live here. I don't know. We just got the perfect race day. The wind blew a couple times towards the end of the race, and it actually felt really good. There's no point in being hot, but it just felt really cooling. I don't know. I started with gloves, and I had arm sleeves on, and I stayed comfortable the whole time. So I think we really got the perfect race day for a marathon. So spoil again.
Excellent.
All right. So you had the perfect race day. You got into your corral. What time did you start the race? And then give us the breakdown. How'd it go?
I think technically my corral, which I was in the first wave, there's 3 waves, and I was in wave 1 and corral D. There's 9 corrals altogether, or corral N was the last one. I was in corral D, so I think that started at 7:30, somewhere in there. And I or wave one went off at 7:30. And I think I started maybe like 8:15. I remember from Boston, just absolute bumper cars and being frustrated and thinking, how do people tell you not to go out too fast? You can't move. Like, but Chicago, they do a really good job because they already funnel you as you're going into the start. Like you see, if you look at an aerial view, you see it wide with everybody and it literally funnels you into the start already and then splits you. So there's a group that's running on this barricade and there's a group that's running, and it stays that way for a few miles or so, or maybe a mile. Well, pretty long. So, and I tried really hard to stay with the pacer that I wanted. Like they were set up right in front of me. I stood right there, got in, stood right next to them. And they took off right at the pace that we were going to hold the whole time. And there was no problem holding it. I thought for sure it was going to be like, it's going to be a couple miles before we get into that pace. So my initial reaction was, oh no, this isn't the warm-up pace. But,
Yeah.
What was the pace you were going for there? What was the pace
I was trying to stay with the 3:20 marathoners or pacers marathoners. And then hoping to stay with them for the half and then pick it up and try to whittle it down into the teens. And I didn't do that. So that's not what happened.
That's okay.
Nope.
Nothing wrong with that. Let's hear what happened.
I stayed with them for a while. Like I could see, I never stayed right on them. They were always a little bit ahead of me. Enough for the range where every time we went through, the crowds would cheer for the 3:20 people. And you know, even if I couldn't see the pacer, I knew that they're cheering and I was in that 3:20 range. I never stressed it.
Yeah.
I will say, and this is a good PSA for anybody that's running Chicago, planning on running Chicago. Your watch doesn't work. There's skyscrapers. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of other runners. My watch did not work. And everybody said after the first couple of miles, it will work itself out, or you can turn the GPS part off and just do manual splits. But I was like, no way. Seems like a lot of work. I'll just let it self-correct. It never did. I mean, multiple times I'd look down and it was telling me I was going sub 6. And I was like, no, probably not.
Somebody else told us that too recently, Erica. Do you remember who? Someone told us about how the watch wasn't working in Chicago.
Might have been me. Because I know once you go, you immediately go into that tunnel. And that messes with like, I don't know, I had like a mile and a half and I was only like half a mile into this. I'm like, how did it get so far off? So definitely messes with paces, but
at the end,
it's rough. You end it with like 28 miles.
It with
like nope,
almost 29 miles. And like I said, it was telling me that I was going way faster than I was, but it was also ticking off the miles about a mile and a quarter ahead. So if I got to mile 25, it was telling me I was already done. And I was like, but I want to complain about that, but I really think it's what kind of saved my race. I didn't look down and say, I shouldn't be going this fast, or get upset when I started to slide in the last couple of miles. I didn't look down and see a number that disgusted me, right? I just ran, so it worked out okay.
Before we continue, I just want to say this is now our most successful YouTube OTR Live. We have 6 viewers. Sarah Halleck is in there in the chats, and she goes, holy moly, 3:20 for a good race day weather. And I just want to say, for anyone in there, like probably your sister, if you have a question, type it up in the chat, and I'll ask her by the end.
Yeah, no, it was great. Honestly, I tried to stay with the pace ahead. After, I think it was probably like 14, 15 miles, I passed the 3:20 pacers. So I was starting to make my move, but I kind of also knew that I'd be comfortable just staying at that 3:20 too, or 3:20 also, and stay.
Also,
so much for stopping.
There were so many cute ones, though. I will tell you that there was a lot of cute dogs on the side of the course. So I did notice them. I was able to look around. Usually, I'm kind of a head down, staring at my feet kind of runner, but not with this one. No way. I got ahead of the pacers for about a mile or two, and then I did see them go back by me. And again, it didn't stress me out. I knew at this point in the race, and I don't know, it's not a quitter's mentality because I was never negative about it. I just said, I'm done. I've crushed it so far for myself. I've come and I'm happy and I'm having such a great time. like, no matter what I end in today, I'm going to be thrilled. And I don't know. I just finished it up. So it was good. I never really hit the wall. I got uncomfortable, like, for sure. And I wanted it to be over, but it wasn't like other marathons where I was, really starting to hurt and questioning life choices. No, I was having a great time.
What was your fueling plan? What did you plan for going in? Are you an aid station
I
person?
carry
Do
my
you
own with
carry
me,
your
and I
own
kind of
fuel with
hate it
you?
simply because I know this is not a lot of girls. This is going to be an unpopular opinion. I hate having like pockets on my shorts. I hate wearing like a belt. I don't like anything other than my watch, shorts, shoes, and the sports bra. Maybe a hat. And I know I've got to bring some gels with me. I switched it up semi last minute. What I was going to use, I was alternating between two different brands that I've been training with, and realized that one was kind of giving me stomach issues. And I was like, I don't want to chance it. So, and I'm glad I didn't, because this is honestly the first race, the first long run that I nailed hydration and nailed nutrition or fueling. I took it on the plan exactly as I said I was going to. I drank a lot of water, which is not, I don't eat when I'm not hungry. I don't love gels, but I nailed it. So obviously I think that played a huge part in feeling good and not hitting that wall. So it was good.
Yeah, you had a great day. You had great weather. Your nutrition went well. You like kicked ass and you like went ahead of the 320 pacers. You just felt great. When you first said that 320 pace that didn't happen, I thought you were going to say like, "Oh, it went downhill.
Yeah,
It wasn't
I tried.
good." No, you picked it up.
You
had a great freaking K.
I'll take it.
K. You had a great freaking
I
day,
did
KJ.
what I went to do.
Resilient.
I didn't get the number that I wanted. I was looking for a PR, and that wasn't the day for it. But I said it would be easy just to go and run. And there was a moment right before the start that I said, maybe I'm going to start further back and just have fun. Like, not even go for try it. And I was like, that's not what I trained for. At least try it. So, like I said, I gave it around 16, 17 miles, 18 miles. And I was like, okay, well, it's not going to be the PR day, but like, I still went for it, It
was still an
second fastest marathon,
day.
and
you had a great
I'm happy
day.
with it. I'm still learning the marathon. I haven't done a lot of them. I got a late start.
Well done.
Let me ask you this question. So we had you on before, and you ran the Boston Marathon. You did it once, maybe twice, but one was virtual, right? Okay, so you ran the Boston Marathon one time. What year was that? Do you remember?
If I didn't.
Well, I know you remember.
2019.
I don't remember. Okay, you ran the 2019 Boston Marathon. So we're talking 4 years ago, 5 years ago there. I'm not a math guy, not that quick. Erica's done both as well. She's done Chicago multiple times. She will tell everyone that Chicago was her favorite race ever, even better than Boston. So I want to hear your comparisons between the Boston Marathon and the Chicago Marathon.
So this conversation's been coming up a lot for me lately, initiated by myself. I love, as a lot of runners do, I love Boston Marathon. I've loved it well before I started being a marathoner. It's Christmas. It is. I worship the day. I worship the race. I think, gosh, I don't know. Chicago really stole my heart. And maybe it is because I had such a great day, and everything, the stars aligned, and for me to feel good and put up a number that I'm happy with. But I think the city was awesome. And I think that the atmosphere was crazy. Like, everything, I just can't wait to do it again. And I do feel that way about Boston, but I'm not dying to go and do Boston again. Like, it's a privilege to get to do it. It's a privilege to get to do this at all, but it's a privilege to get to do Boston. And if it comes around again, which maybe in 2025, that's the direction I go. But Chicago, I'm having a hard time not signing up today, like, for next year. I'm like, I texted my coach, my sister, Jess. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? Do I do it? And I do think there is a disadvantage to Boston versus Chicago, is that Chicago's all right in the city. So it is just like thick with spectators, right? Where Boston is that point to point through all these towns and stuff. So it's not going to be as wild a party all the way through. If that makes sense. I don't know. So
I totally get it. That's exactly what drew me to it. Yep. Plus, I guess you got to take my opinion with a grain of salt, just because I had the year, I did 2018, and that was the monsoon year, and we didn't have the crowds like you did. And I just don't think I had the same experience. So, I mean, my Chicago experience was like exponentially bigger than Boston. So that's kind of why I'm so drawn to it. So that's just where I go with it. But I mean, you have the best of both worlds. You've had like an awesome Boston, an awesome Chicago, so you get to compare a little bit better than I do.
A second Boston.
It has my heart too.
You have to get it. Yeah, you have to experience
I would love that.
To be.
We have to do it. We have to get her in.
Someday.
We'll figure it out. We'll
and
get
if
her
I
in.
do, I swear qualifying will be at Chicago.
When they say that course is like, fast, they're not kidding.
That is the place to do it.
It's a very fast course.
Oh, it is fast. I mean, even last year, I ran last year and I was not really training for speed, and I had my second fastest marathon there. So I get what you mean. You just get carried away by the crowds, and that you are crammed in there, and all the other runners are just taking you with them. So like I was probably running way faster than I was prepared to, but I had my strategy and it worked out.
It wasn't too fast.
And it was good. So true.
Well, let me tell you this. I think you should click the link and sign up for the race. What's the harm? You won't get to do it if you don't click the link. You can decide later, I can't do it or I don't want to do it. But you should go.
So I qualify. So I will get an automatic, like a guaranteed entry. So if I apply, they're going to, the money's taken, you're signed up.
I was thinking the lottery but you qualified. All right. Here's where I was going. We should try to get a lot of people this week, these next couple of weeks, to apply for the lottery if that's the way. And then if enough people say yes, not only does it help you, KJ, it helps me if I get in, because I can be like, listen, I got to go for the pod. Everyone's going. There's going to be like 18 of us there. I need to be at the group photo at the Bean. Like, I have to do this. It's a quick flight. I'll fly out Friday night. And I'll come back Monday morning. I'm just gone for a quick weekend.
Was like one of the things.
Take the kids with me.
Sitting at my friend Katie's doing my hair. She was doing my hair today. And I'm looking through Instagram and I'm like, oh my gosh, this person's in the lottery. This person's in the lottery. Like, actually, Nicole was the first person that I saw. And I was like, oh, today's the day. Today's the day. And then I saw, and then I saw a few other people's and I'm
Nicole
like,
Bryant?
oh no. But what if everybody in this like little Run New Hampshire group got in and we could go have this epic weekend in Chicago? I'm like, oh, it just sounds so amazing. It's like what if you get in and your friend does it, kind of thing.
Erica, I need the link.
I Facebook messaged it to you earlier.
Oh, you
today.
did? I missed it.
I sent it to you. You got it.
I need a reminder sometimes. All right, I'm signing up for the lottery.
With Dave. Dave sent me a picture of his acceptance thing, and I was like, or that he applied, and I was like, thank you for the reminder. I had it in my calendar, but I totally forgot.
So we've been going live here for 36 minutes, and we might have a couple questions. We have some comments. So are you ready for this? Our most successful OTR live on YouTube Live. I think when we did it on Instagram the first time, Erica, we got like 20 something. Mm-hmm. But we're growing the YouTube channel, guys. So when you're listening to this, go and click subscribe and jump on our YouTube channel. All right. Sarah Halleck has a couple comments. I don't know. Do you know Sarah? Well, you would love Sarah. She loves to go eat.
Love Sarah. Love you.
And she peed on herself in a porta potty once. So, all right. Sarah goes, holy moly, 320. She goes that she says she also hates carrying stuff when she runs. She says, congratulations on your second fastest marathon ever. And she says, sign up.
Sarah, you're fighting a good cause here. There's a high likelihood, we'll say.
All right. Now we have a couple questions too. So, Hannah Knutnen, wonder who she is. She's one of our amazing Patreons. And also, she has an amazing big brother. Two of the best big brothers in the world. She wants to know first.
Say Alex.
She wants to
Just
know
kidding.
first, what advice would you give a new runner? So you're a running coach. What advice would you give Hannah, my sister, who lives in New York City and could easily go running in Central
I
Park
would
all the time?
say, first of all, figure out what your definition of fun is. Because if it's not fun, don't stay with it. But that doesn't mean it's not going to hurt and suck at times and be, something you feel like you have to do at times. But if it's not fun and it's not something you love, you don't have to be a runner, right? But that being said, I will give every running coach would say this, every seasoned runner would tell you this. You don't get to just be a runner. If this is something you want to do, there's a whole lot else you have to do to stay healthy. And for all the people that are kind of skirting by on running fast and not doing the strength work, it catches up. It caught up. I lived that way for a long time, thinking that I was never going to get injured, never going to get sidelined, and gotta be willing to do the rest of the work too. So do the stretching.
Now you're a run coach. You're a run coach, and you do your run coaching virtually, so you can easily take someone on who lives in New York City or even in Hong Kong, right?
A lot of fun.
All right. So Hannah, when you decide to sign up for the New York City Marathon on a whim,
if you're not looking for a coach, you're welcome just to ask any questions. I'm happy to help.
All right. Hit her up in the DMs there on the Instagram. All right. Here's another question. And Hannah understands what I mean sometimes when I say ask anything. So Erica, you can answer this one too. All right. This is a good one. You get $10 million, but for the rest of your life, there is a super snail that is invisible and kills you by touching you. It always knows where you are. Do you take the $10 million?
I love Hannah.
Yes.
No, I don't think so, right? Like, I live in fear of bugs that I can see. Why am I going to? There's no way. There's no way. And snails aren't scary. If there's a snail in my house, I'm not freaking out. But if it's invisible and could kill me and knows where I am, no, Hannah, no. I mean, everybody needs money. Everybody wants a little bit of money. I like, having it, but I'm not a money person. So don't give me a tiny one. I'm fine. So.
What about you, Erica? Money or no money? $10 million.
I've heard this question before, but I don't know if I remember if it was an invisible snail, because you could use that $10 million to get somebody to keep watching that snail and make sure it never gets to you. And so you can work your way around that whole thing. But an invisible
that's
snail.
the answer of somebody that's a little bit more creative minded. I'm like, no.
I can't take total credit for that because I'm pretty sure I read it on Reddit, I think. So it's funny. It's awesome.
I might have mispronounced. Okay. She says it's not invisible.
Oh.
She says it's invincible.
Oh, so you can't kill it.
See it
so $10 million.
You can see it. I would just keep
a snail.
Keep
I'm probably going to put
to keep an eye
something
on it.
over it, and it's yeah. Unless there's like some hidden rules here.
Hannah, for anyone watching this on YouTube, the questions are over here, and so I'm turning my head to read them and trying to pay attention to KJ. So they're kind of small.
That's funny.
Hannah says good questions or good answers. We have another question. We have another question. This is getting good. All right, Michael Nye. I just call him Mike Nye.
Oh,
he wants to know, what was your post-marathon meal?
Why can't I think of this? I actually went out with my sister and the girl Sarah and her husband, and we went and I had the best burger. I'm a big cheeseburger person, so that was my dinner: a big cheeseburger and fries, and a strawberry ginger mojito, which is like nothing that I would normally ever order anywhere. And if anybody is curious, just a little bonus answer: I definitely tried deep dish pizza the next day. That was pretty good.
I have a quick question for you.
I'm so proud of myself.
Did you drink the beer that they gave you straight out of the finishing
chute? And I love beer. I've never been somebody that's going to drink it 2 minutes after crossing a finish line of a marathon. But they open it and hand it to you. So I was like, well, when in Rome, I drank, I took a few sips, and then I met my sister and she finished it for me. So I did take a few sips.
Nice.
I didn't. I know I should have. Everybody.
The can?
It's at Goose Island.
What
a
beer
commemorative
was it?
can every year. It's good. The beer's good. And the can.
It's a-
I think she's got hers.
Check it out. Hang on.
You could keep it next year. You know, when we all go to Chicago. And Hannah, I need you to come with us and take our social media content.
26.2.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no way.
I didn't keep it. I didn't
So
keep
it's a
it.
can.
I handed it. I started.
Now,
there will be others.
Would they let you keep the can but not
'cause you
open
have
it?
to-
Like if
you
you
can't
want the
leave the
can
park
never to be
with
open,
the open
no,
can,
they
or,
open it
like,
in front of
the
you.
full
Okay.
can. So, but I'm sure there's 0% chance that they caught everybody for sure. There's no way. There's 47,000 people. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure one of these two I managed to sneak out. Like, I don't think I drank the whole thing, and I just kind of hid it in like
One of your
the
14
bag of
pockets on
goodies
your
that they give you, like your apple and your water, and it was like your heat sheet.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what they're good for.
Well, this was fun. KJ, why don't you tell us what's coming up next? What do you have? I saw earlier you posted about a turkey trot. We're trying to decide what turkey trot we're going to do. I don't think we're going to drive out west to Keene on Thanksgiving, but what are you doing?
You know, I always
up,
look forward to the downtime
for,
after a marathon. Not so much. I mean, I look forward to. I had a week off, and that was really nice. But I look forward to the non-structured, just go for runs kind of time. But I really came out of this one pretty hungry for the next one. So my coach and I are kind of back and forth about potentially going and trying to find a January marathon, something early. If not, then April. But I'd really like to. I'm thinking, so I'm kind of bouncing around the idea of Houston.
Warmer weather marathon.
I'm just not sure I want to travel out there right now. Or Clearwater with the Millennium Race. With a friend. So potentially January marathon. If not, then I'm just going to be chilling and try and find something for the spring. And then it's either going to be Chicago, or I really, really would love to do the full Damar. I've never actually done the full Damar here in Keene. I've only done the half. So a fall marathon. It's beautiful. It's just a logistically
I can say it was great.
Easy race. And
I loved it.
I love the big marathons. I love the majors, but it's a lot. It's a lot to like plan. It's a lot of being around a lot of people, and it takes a toll.
Well, you got a great one in your backyard, so if all else fails, there you go.
And everyone everything on the health side of things, the health front's good. You know, the recovery's well, and you're pretty much
everything's pretty good.
Good bill of health right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you.
So proud of you too. You did amazing, and I'm glad it was everything you hoped it would be.
Get in the lottery.
Yes, we're going to do it. Let's all jump in the lottery. Okay. KJ, you're amazing. Everyone, thank you. This was a surprise OTR live. We kind of had this plan, but I actually wasn't sure because I thought I might have to run to cheerleading practice and everything. I didn't know until about 3 hours ago I was solid for this when I sent you the DM. So this is a little bit of a surprise OTR live, and I'm super excited to get you on and tell us all about Chicago. Don't forget, everyone, follow us on Instagram. Go subscribe to this YouTube channel. And I need more Patreons because Hannah said she will come to Chicago with us next year, Erica, and do our social media if we pay for her flight.
Call me.
That happen. We'll see.
Yep. I think we could make that happen.
If Hannah wants an assistant.
That's right. I
would be okay with that.
This was a lot of fun, KJ. It was great to catch up with you. I'm glad you're part of our pod fam. So thank you so much. This was a lot of fun. So everyone, our 7 viewers right now, thank you for jumping on. And for all our other listeners listening later, we love you guys. Have a great evening wherever you are. And Erica, take us home.
Don't forget to stretch.